Other design features include numerous small hubs that are located along the project, which provide trail access and information. At the Woodrow Avenue Hub, bikeway users can park their bikes and use a copy of the city's interpretive walking tour brochure to visit downtown St. Clairsville. At the intersection of the project's north-south and east-west routes is the Hub Park. It contains a traffic circle for bikes instead of a four-way stop. In the traffic circle is a 31-foot diameter gazebo complete with a custom logo weather vane, 2-inch Douglas fir ceiling, and a floor made of huge slabs of native sandstone salvaged from old city sidewalks. An alley of river birch trees line the trail on each side of the gazebo. Someday, they will form a tunnel of trees over the trail. Custom banners suggestive of trail use activities hang next to baskets on poles, reminiscent of those which held old telegraph lines along rail corridors. The entrance is identified with a custom-designed sign made of 3/4-inch stainless steel from which the logo was water jet cut to prevent the discoloration associated with other cutting processes. Connected to the Hub Park and the trail is the Nature Walk. Along this 692-foot-long trail are native plantings, wildflowers, a quiet stream, and a 60-foot-long walk bridge. It was built by city workers who carried in all the material so as to protect the surroundings. One enters the nature trail through a rough arbor that will soon be covered by natural bittersweet vines. Other plantings seek to separate the nature walk visually by a wall of trees from the more formal landscape of the gazebo area. The 1996 concept plan calls for this area to be used for interpretive nature education. Nancy Shank was the landscaper who implemented the design-build concept for the project.
What we've tried to do is to gather plants that are interesting and educational, well adapted to the area, and yet are plants that people don't see very often. So that each time they visit the gazebo area, each time they come to the bike trail, they can see something new and see something different, something they hadn't seen before. A whole succession of plants blooming from early spring until, like the witch hazel, which blooms in November and December. We tried to keep the landscaping non-commercial. This shouldn't look like every mall development, every restaurant chain that goes in. We wanted the landscaping here to be individual, non-commercial, interesting and educational to the people that come here.
Private sector fundraising was another critical part of the project. Local businessman and community leader John Goodman was asked to help with fundraising.
We pulled together a committee of 8 or 10, maybe 12 people, and had the initial meeting. At that meeting, we targeted individuals, businesses, civic groups, and clubs within the city, and sent a letter of solicitation out to them to adopt or donate a portion of the bike trail. The response was tremendous. Individually, we had contributions from anything from individual trees to water fountains to adopt a portion of the bike trail. This committee divided the group into smaller groups, 5 to 6 people, 5 to 8 people per person, and there were personal solicitations made. We were successful in raising in excess of $100,000 to personalize and make some of the nice atmosphere that surrounds the bike trail.
About $100,000 in private funds were raised for the Phase 1 project. One of the more interesting fundraisers was the Pennies for the Trail program, devised by the St. Clairsville Middle School. In that program, students donated their spare change to the project. Over $600 was delivered in a wheelbarrow to the Hub Park and presented to the city to help sponsor the Nature Walk. Luckily, we found a local banker willing to count the penny-by-penny deposit. The city sought to instill a sense of ownership in the public by making them part of the project. Perhaps because of this, there has been negligible vandalism and no security problems on the bikeway. Other fundraising included the St. Clairsville Chamber of Commerce donation of $10,000 towards the cost of the gazebo. The balance was from a Nature Works grant from the state of Ohio. The St. Clairsville Rotary Club donated $20,000 for the lower tunnel overlooking stairs, and a separate club, the St. Clairsville Sunrise Rotary, donated $20,000 for the upper tunnel overlooking stairs. Trees, benches, signage, light fixtures, project literature, and so forth were all provided with private sponsorship. Acknowledgments were made by the city using custom bronze logo plaques. Along with raising money, the private sector effort also raised project awareness and support. In fact, there was such demand to be on the trail that once the paving started, it was difficult to keep users out of the way until it was finished. The city sponsored a trail preview tour on a cold Sunday afternoon in November in an effort to address the public interest. Over 200 people came to that event to walk sections of the trail, some paved, some muddy. Again, momentum grew. Many other activities advanced the public support for the bikeway. For example, large tents were set up and grilled lunches were provided to project supporters and neighbors at both the groundbreaking and dedication. Project literature was produced in-house to highlight donations and activities. The city's website was used to coordinate the work of volunteer fundraisers and to keep the public updated on the National Road Bikeway's progress. A quarterly newsletter was sent to supporters. This is a project that does not have an end. New sections of the bikeway are planned. Additional elements are being added. In fact, the latest addition is a bike arboretum, where a variety of Ohio native trees are being planted to line a section of the trail. And the community continues to embrace the project. Realtors tout houses for sale adjacent or near the bikeway. Local businesses and civic groups use areas of it for television spots. The gazebo has been used for wedding photos. Bicyclists, walkers, joggers, inline skaters, the handicapped, baby strollers, cross-country skiers are all at home on the bikeway. City crews are dedicated to maintaining the 4-mile project.
The National Road Bikeway has become a focal point for the city. It's the kind of place that residents show their guests when they visit St. Clairsville. It's also the place that folks quietly enjoy, read a book, and appreciate the outdoors, all in the heart of a busy small city. The vision is in place. The project is indeed more than an asphalt path through the city. The bikeway is a link between neighborhoods, schools, historic and commercial districts, people, parks, and places. It has softened the urban landscape and enhanced property values. The project serves as an outdoor classroom to the city's natural and built environment. The St. Clairsville National Road Bikeway is a lineal park and an alternative transportation system that is enhancing the livability of the city.